one of the takeaways from the book isn't so much specific around the monastery. It's around this notion of building your life resume, you know, and just stepping into the unknown. Because to me, that's where I learned the best. I mean, I could get a traditional coach or go to seminars or experts, but I just don't learn. I learn by going into the unknown. And I hope it just motivates people to have a little bit more urgency and do stuff like that.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to a monastery.
Right.
But, you know, there's an old Japanese ritual, you might be familiar with it, I don't know, called the misogi. And the thought around the misogi is, it was introduced to me by Kyle Korver, who played at the Hawks, for the Atlanta Hawks. And the notion around the misogi is, you do something so hard one time a year that it has an impact the other 364 days of the year on you. That you go so far beyond. You know, for me, that was my 100-mile run. I mean, I can look back since 2008. I've had moments like that every year. But, and I believe in that. I believe in that. And I don't know why I just brought that up, but it's true. And so it's just kind of one of the themes around this urgency and you know, creating memories, et cetera.
Yeah, I think there's things like that sort of highlight that urgency. That if you just live your life like at the same steady, static pace, maybe sometimes you don't feel it as much. Like I'm sure after you did your 100-mile run, like when it was over, it probably felt so good to relax.
Oh, well, first of all, for me, the pressure around completing the run. When I did the run, I raised millions of dollars for charity. And everyone in my world knew I was doing it. I gave myself 90 days to train for it.
What's normal?
I would say, like, for the people in the shape that I was in going into it, probably a year, 8 months, 6 months. I mean,
whoa.
I mean, I gave myself 90 days. I started in August, and the race was 90 days later. And everyone in my world was donating or involved or knew about it. So if I didn't finish it, so much can go wrong in a 100-mile run. You know, like if something goes wrong in a marathon at mile 19, you got it out. You got 7 more miles left. Right. You know, something goes wrong at mile 19, you have 81 miles left. You can't most people can't gut that out. I don't think I could. I felt so relieved when it was done because I was just like, man, I did it. And no one can take it away from me.
What was the longest you had ran before that?
I ran 250s.
250s.
250 milers. I mean, I never did miles. I did time. So I did two about 10-hour runs twice.
And 50 miles in those 10 hours?
Probably around there.
Somewhere around there. So, but you knew that you were at the halfway mark roughly, and you could push through the rest.
I knew that if I got to if I could get to 50 miles in 10 hours, I could basically, even injured, walk the rest in the allocated time.
Now, after that was over, and after you did do that 100 miles, how much of a shift did that make in the way you thought about time and effort?
Totally changed my life. Completely talking about this misogi. It completely changed my life. That was in 2006, I think, that I did the run. And it's completely changed my life because when I started running, my goal was to run 2 miles. If I could run 2 miles in 18 minutes, 9-minute pace, I considered myself a runner. And I worked towards that goal. Like out of college, I was like, just got out of college. I'm like, I'm gonna try to run 2 miles. You know, like it took me a little to get there in 9-minute pace. You know, and fast forward, I ran this. Nothing in my body changed. This is the same legs God gave me, same lugs God gave me. I'm not very strong. Nothing's changed. But I took that 2-mile body and ran 100 miles. And I bet almost a lot of people that are listening to this could run 2 miles and with a gun to their head. They could run 2 miles if they had to. And the only thing that changed was the way I perceived what I thought I could do in this run. And I realized after the race that, holy shit, I did 50x what my initial goal was. Like I was under-indexing 50x in this category of my life. What are the areas of my life, Jesse? What other areas of your life, man, are you under-indexing in? Like, okay, if your sales quota at Marquis Jet, my company, was 20 jet cards, is that because I knew I could get it and it was comfortable? Or should I be like, man, put me on the board for 40 fellas this month. Let me see what the fuck I can do.
Right.
I was living in this like comfort. I was going through life like this. Routine.
Mm-hmm.
And routines are great, but routines can also be a rut. You can't get better in a routine. And if you get when you're in a routine, time goes fast. When you're out of your routine, time goes slow. So I was so comfortable in my routine. I was like, man, fuck it. I don't want to go through life like this. I want to go through life like this, you know? And I was
The people who are listening, you're going up.
I'm going up.
Most people are listening.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So
That's all right.
I'm just going
People do this all the time.
I'm just locked in. I don't even know where people are listening.
Yeah.
I'm locked into you.
Right.
I was going flat, you know, I was just doing the same shit. And
you want a nice 45-degree upward angle.
Yeah. So this run showed me, man, I was under indexing so much what I thought I was capable of. And it made me think like, what else am I capable of?